Good morning, Trojans, and thank you for tuning in to the Live and Live show where we have been living life for 10 years. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Novalie. An adventurous dog jumps into a freezing lake in Michigan.
This morning we have a clear sky with a couple of clouds. Will those clouds pick up to make even more clouds, or will we get some rain? We'll find out more about that in a second.
The Golden State Warriors played against the Cleveland Cavaliers in a very cool game. I'll tell you the scores and highlights coming up next.
Is it possible to bring someone back from the dead? The new movie Lazarus Effect will give you that answer.
A company called Natural Machines introduced a 3D printer in 2014.
We have that and much more following the break.
Bright colors, spirited parades, and the pop of firecrackers. They're the unforgettable sights and sounds of the Spring Festival, commonly known in the West as Chinese New Year. It's a celebration that lasts 15 days, the most colorful and important holiday on the Chinese calendar. The Chinese have been celebrating the New Year since 2000 BC, but the origins of this now joyous holiday were born of fear and myth, not festivity. An ancient Chinese legend tells the story of the wild beast Nian, who appeared each year at the end of winter, attacking and killing villagers. To scare the beast away, they used the color red, loud noise, and bright light. The customs of Chinese New Year were born. Nian is also the Chinese word for year, and much like a wild beast, the year was something to be feared, as flood, famine, and sickness took many lives. On the New Year, families gathered for a reunion to see who had survived and to wish the best for the year to come. Today, the tradition continues as families celebrate the New Year together.
Happy New Year.
Throughout the centuries, Chinese New Year celebrations have been held at different times under different emperors. In 1911, the Republic of China was established under Sun Yat-sen. Soon after, the country adopted the foreign solar-based Gregorian calendar, establishing New Year celebrations for January 1st. During the political turmoil of the early 20th century, the Chinese government returned to its roots and re-established the traditional lunar calendar to set the dates for holidays. Chinese New Year is celebrated at the beginning of the first month of the lunar calendar, around late January, early February on the Western calendar. People crowd city streets, buying new clothes and shoes. They shop for the best firecrackers and choose special ingredients for the festive meal. Red is the color of happiness and abundance. Auspicious symbols written on red paper hang in every store window and home to bring good fortune. Families enjoy the New Year's Eve feast with plate after plate of elaborate food, the most symbolic meal of the year. A whole fish stands for abundance, a chicken for good luck, both served with head and tail, symbolizing a good beginning and end for the coming year. After the meal, elders pass out small red envelopes called hongbao. Each has a New Year greeting on the outside and lucky money on the inside. On the first day of the new year, people take to the streets, filling the day with the explosion of firecrackers. The celebration continues for 2 weeks with traditional ceremonies and days of rest. On the 15th day, the Lantern Festival arrives, signaling the end of the holiday. It's a tradition that can be traced back to 200 BC, when the emperors of the Han Dynasty lit their palace with lanterns to pay tribute to the universe.
We're back, Trojans.
It's time for the Tetzlaff play-by-play.
Since we have been living live for 10 years, we go back to 2007 where we look back to the first day of school.
The first week of school can be fun, nervous, and full of adventures. Exciting and embarrassing moments, too. We captured your thoughts at that moment. Check it out.
How was your first week of school?
My first week of school was interesting because of finding out who's in my class as a thief.
How was your first couple of weeks of school?
My first couple of weeks of school was great. I love all my teachers.
How was your first week of school?
Well, the first week of school was great. I was expecting a great year from the summer, and then once I got the students, I knew without a doubt it would be just a fantastic year.
How did your students react on like the first week or the first day of school?
Well, they were quiet the first day or two like they usually are, but then once they saw what the program was about, they got excited and, of course, quite loud. Have to say, though, that some of the funniest moments was, since I have two rooms here, the old sign of Mr. Mendez was still up. So we ended up having several students that were supposed to be in Mr. Mendez's class, in my class, and didn't tell me until about half an hour into the class that they were in the wrong class.
Who's your favorite teacher and why?
Mr. Mendez, because I love the way he teaches. It's just really interesting when he talks about history.
How was your first week of school?
It's cool. It just, I don't know.
Did you know anybody when you came to school?
Yeah.
Who?
Trayvon.
A missing wallet was found in the studio store. To claim it, please stop by the studio store and describe the wallet to receive it back.
It's that time again. Bring in your box tops and Campbell's labels for education. The homeroom competition will continue until today. Clip those labels and bring them in. The homeroom with the most labels will receive a prize.
The Tetzlaff Book Fair is here. Bring your cash to purchase your favorite books and fun merchandise like pens and notebooks. Go swing by the library today during lunch or after school this week. Today is the last day to stop by the library for the book fair.
The annual Tetzlaff talent show has finally arrived. If you could sing, dance, or play a musical instrument, you should try out for the talent show. Tryouts will be held after school in the auditorium on March 10th. If you are going to sing along with music, please bring it on a CD. If you have any questions, please see Ms. Lopez in room 305.
All right, Trojans, for Friday's Action Reaction segment, David has for us the game of the week.
Hey guys, it's Davey here with another gaming review. Today we'll be covering a product that recently hit the market. Amiibos for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Discover Amiibo, a brand new way to interact with your favorite characters and games. The first set of Amiibo figures launches simultaneously with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U on November 21st, and 6 more are planned to arrive in December. The next wave of 11 Amiibo is planned to launch in February of 2015. Toon Link, Sheik, Ike, Shulk, Lucario, Meta Knight, King DDD, Rosalina and Luma, Bowser, Sonic, and Mega Man. Some of our retail partners will be releasing a certain number of these as exclusive figures, so stay tuned for details. Amiibo do different things in different compatible Nintendo games. You can customize your Amiibo and level them up through training, add a character to a game, or get special items, abilities, extra content, and more. Just tap Amiibo to the Wii U gamepad controller. No extra hardware or accessories required, and watch them come to life as the ultimate partner character in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Wow, what an amazing product. Amiibos are action figures that you can place on your Wii U gamepad to enter them into the game. Amiibos come at level 1 and can be leveled up by playing more and more games with them. Once they reach level 50, they're virtually unstoppable, and all that can't be beat. You can feed them equipment and take them to the friend's house to completely crush them. Amiibos come in waves and are discounted shortly after the next wave comes out. Did you know that the new 3DS will have the capabilities to insert Amiibos into the game? So far, this is available everywhere but North America. Bummed. Well, that's all the time we have for this review. I'm David, and I'll be here next week with another review.
Thank you, David. That's it for the play-by-play at Tetzlaff.
Check out our Facebook page at 11.5 Show to follow up on our stories.
We'll be right back after the break.
Sport reminds us what history has long revealed, that courage is contagious, that the actions of a single individual can impact those whose faces they will never see, and that a single voice can resound through generations. We honor those who have let their actions and their voices speak, not only for themselves, but for us all, whether by standing tall as an icon of integrity and greatness, by standing up to a school and a system that would deny her right to participate, or by refusing to stand for intolerable abuse on the field of play, or even simply by standing firm in the face of obstacles that would otherwise deter the pursuit of the sport they love. And while these stories are individual, the lessons are universal. We may never follow in their footsteps, but we can follow their example and rise to the challenges that we face with the courage, the conscience, and the power that resides in each of us. The power of one.
Five drones were seen hovering in Paris and U.S. overnight between midnight on February 23rd and 6 a.m. of February 24th. These drones were noticed over the landmarks of the Eiffel Tower, the Bastille, Place de la Concorde, Les Invalides, and the U.S. Embassy. When the French Navigation Police finds the operator of the drones, the operator will most likely be prosecuted.
An adventurous dog jumped into a freezing lake in Michigan earlier this month. A Coast Guard member just happened to be at the right spot and saw the Labrador Retriever go into the lake. The rescue officer, Tim Putnam, said, quote, "Exhausting and difficult. There were a lot of heavy chunks and plates of ice. I had to move around to get to the dog, who seemed shook up and shivering," end quote. They arrived at shore and Putnam's team pulled the dog on a line to dry it off. When the Labrador arrived at the shelter, workers found out the dog was named Bailey. Bailey is now with its owner and was very fortunate to be alive in good condition. Time now to check in with Arnell on today's entertainment report. Good morning, Arnell.
Is about a group of medical students who are experimenting with dead bodies and are trying to bring them back to life. Their first experiment was with their dog, who sadly passed away. Unfortunately, it didn't work. When they tried to shock the dog back to life, one of the students got shocked and unexpectedly died. She was their last chance to try their experiment and succeed. Luckily, it worked on her and she came back to life. But she also got possessed by an evil spirit, which makes her want to kill people. Make sure to watch this horror movie tonight. Let's see what's going on in our weather. Good morning, Sammy.
Good morning, Arnell, and good morning, Tetzlaff Trojans. All right, it's time for the weather. In our area, it's going to be 57 degrees. As we move more east, it's going to get colder, with Minneapolis being 1 degree, Denver being -2 degrees. So all over this area, it's going to be pretty cold. And as we move more southeast in Miami, it's going to be 70 degrees, the hot point of the nation. All right, now it's time for earthquakes. In the world, there's been over 70 earthquakes, the biggest one in the Andreanof Aleutian Islands in Alaska, USA. And in Southern California, there's been over 8 earthquakes, the biggest one, a 1.8 in Ridgecrest, California. All right, now it's time for the 5-day forecast. All throughout the week, be expecting some 70s today and Tuesday with some cloudy weather. And all the rest of the week, we're going to be getting some rain. So that's going to help our job. Tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday, so make sure to bring your umbrellas on Monday to school. And yeah, all right, now it's time for the pick of the day. This pick of the day was sent in by somebody, his name was under Abraham Lincoln, and he sent a picture of fire trucks. That's cool. All right. All right, now it's time for birthdays. Unfortunately, we do not have a picture, but this is whose birthday is today. So there's Aiden Maxino, and Slung Patel, Jonathan Yarbo, and Saloni Patel. All right. So wish them all a happy birthday. Make sure to send any pics you want. It could be any pic at pics@live5show.com, and make sure to send any birthday shout-outs at birthdays@live5show.com. All right, now it's time to toss it to the pool with Avery. Good morning, Avery.
Good morning, Sammy. Today we have Jenica with us. Good morning, Jenica.
Hi, Avery.
This week we challenge you with the question, should students be cut from the sports team if they are not qualified? Here's what you guys said.
Yes, because if there's no cuts, all the sports team will just get too bunched up, and there's not enough playing time for all the kids. So the kids might not have any fun playing sports for school anymore.
That's a good question. We actually already do have cuts. It's called the non-activity list. Students who are not eligible to participate in sports because of their grades or because they get in trouble, something like that, then they are cut from the team. As far as how many students should we have participate, I think the more people do participate, the better. So I don't want to have cuts, but students cut themselves by being on the non-activity list.
No.
And why?
Because just because they take out people because they're not doing so well, they won't be able to have a chance to improve.
No, because I think it's important for everyone to interact with each other, just not here at PE, but outside of school.
What are the advantages of adding cuts?
Kids can improve on their game.
Say if they're on the non-activity list, they get off from the team.
Because some kids might finish their homework and get their grades up and come back to sports.
What are the disadvantages or cons?
Cons would be like a morale decrease for some players who get cut because they might think that the coaches think that they're not good enough for the team.
There's a lot of students who don't do their homework and have like failed grades, and probably that would affect the sports that are being played because not enough kids would be playing that sport.
What sports do you think they should be applied to?
Probably football, cross country, and soccer.
Football and basketball, because those are like the top 2 sports for our school.
And if there were cuts, how many people do you think should get cut?
At least 5.
Somewhat half of the students of the school would probably.
I think the maximum players that should be on the basketball team should be 15, because more than 15 players would be like too many, because already with 15 players there's a starting unit, backup bench unit, and then like a third unit for like blowout games to rest the bench and the starting units.
Here are the results of this past week's poll. 50% of you said yes, 32% of you guys said no, and 18% of you guys didn't care. Our new question is, should students be able to eat anywhere on campus? We want to hear from you. Be sure to visit us online at Live and Flash to vote. Send your comments to us at liveandflash.com, and if it's good, we'll read it on there. So, Jenica, what do you think?
They should eat anywhere on campus because they would have more free space to eat at lunch.
Okay. That's all the time we have for today, Trojans. We'll see you back here next week. Have a great day, everybody.